Alright, folks, Accidental Ascension 3, turn 2. I'm sorry, turn 3. Yeah, turn 3, right? Yeah, we made it. Alright, we took the province. We took High Peaks. If you watch the battle, you see those mercenary spearmen really did work for us. Despite not having great stats, just having 30 more of them made a huge difference. Defense skill 13, protection 11. They're slightly better than our Naphtali spearmen, and slightly worse than our Zebulonite soldiers, which have 1 more protection and 1 more defense. And yeah, they're the only thing the Naphtali spearmen have over them is javelins, which are honestly enough. So the mercenary spearmen basically charged in, did a lot of the heavy lifting for us here in killing these guys off, which is fine. I lost a couple of units, but not many at all, and we managed to just wipe them out very, very easily. So I lost 2 Naphtali, 1 Zebulonite. The Zebulonite, I'm really down on the Zebulonites. Honestly, I shouldn't be. They're okay. They're like moderate indie level. They're just expensive for it. I mean, 16 recruitment points, 13 gold. Not fantastic. But the important thing is, now I have 144 resources in Gath. So now I can actually start to recruit units. I can recruit 5 Gittite soldiers and almost a Zebulonite Hornblower this turn. So this army can't go up there because there's a mountain in the way. I saw Abyssia. So Abyssia is right here. This is like normal distance to be, if not a little bit still close. This is crazy. But I've already gotten I've already talked to the guy who made the game about this. It was just some kind of mistake. It happens sometimes. He's actually Abyssia up here, and I contacted him and made a deal. I said, look, you're Abyssia, you really want magic diversity. These lizards will have lizard shamans, which give you astral nature cross paths. I already have that. I already have Issacharite Sibyls, who are actually cheaper and have exactly that same utility. So, tell you what, you can have this province as long as we have a non-aggression pact and you don't go any further south than this. And just let me deal with this whole Raga situation. He was like, yeah, okay, that sounds fair, fine. This isn't a great starting position, but he does have 3 farms right here. Well, 2 farms plus his capital. So he'll be fine. Trust me, don't worry about that. This province is too tough to conquer and is across the river anyway, so I can't cross the river to get to it, except, like I said, maybe midwinter. And overall, we're doing fine. I recruited 1 Kohen here. I don't actually need any more Kohens right now, so we're going to go back to just pumping out the Issacharite Sages. Actually, we could get our Hornblower. It's going to be a couple turns no matter what we do. We've got 1 Gibor. We could recruit... How many Gibors could we get? We could get 3 Gibors. Or we could have 5 Gittites. Yeah, I'm going to go with... I know I'm changing my mind back and forth about this, but I'm going to go with the Gittites, I think. They're just... more meat is what I need. Plus they have the javelins. And yeah, they don't hit nearly so hard, but they've got... they're okay. And I just need numbers. Really, I need numbers and just bodies on the field. So we're actually going to go halfway to another Gittite. Because they, after a couple turns of recruitment, are going to have to go up here and fight their way through the Woods of Weeping. This army is going to sweep down there, then it's going to go after the Barbarians. And they might be able to take on the Barbarians too. I have to make sure that I manage to rehire these guys. So next turn, I'm going to have to pay the money to get them back again. And I'm definitely going to have to pay that money because they are vital to my my national security interests, as it were. That's going to cut back into capital recruitment, but oh well. It will be okay. It will just have to be alright, because I need them. I need them like the desert needs the rain. I'd also like to hire Obscuro the Hidden Master. But I need to save my money to rehire Dante's Stingers, because they cost like 200 or something, so I'll have to spend, you know, a lot on them. A pretty significant chunk of change on them in order to get them back. And these Gittites are costing me 150. These 3 guys up here are costing me 135. So yeah, I'm only going to have about 100 extra. This province will give me some decent income, which is good. And you can see Raga has started expanding south. So Cold Raga, not a good bless. They're not going to hyper expand like Raga normally does, especially because they can't recruit. Well, actually, next turn they may be able to recruit a couple of Griffins, a couple of Immortals, Zayedans. So that'll be fun to deal with, but we'll see what we can do. Gedalia, meanwhile, like I said, I'm not going to bother recruiting more Kohens, but actually I may recruit I think I am going to recruit an Issacharite Sibyl here. Yeah, okay. And then we'll send the Issacharite Sibyl out site searching. Gedalia. Yeah, I might as well use you to site search right now too. Just site search for Fire 1. It's better than nothing. So, that's the turn. And I'll see you all in turn 4. This is going... We're stabilizing a little bit. We're not... It's not as bad as I was afraid, because we managed to grab that really valuable province right off the bat. And it has a slave market, so it's producing blood slaves for me. That's really cool. That's really nice. That's a good thing to have. However, it's causing unrest. So actually what I need to do is I need to pump the province defense up here to 11 to help reduce unrest, because my Dominion, that will help hold the unrest. It generates 2 unrest per turn. So 11 province defense will keep the unrest down by 1. Actually, how much do I have to go up to get another point of... Yeah, I have to go up to 21 to get another point. So that'll hold the unrest down by 1, and then my Dominion, as my Dominion goes up, will give passive unrest degeneration as well. So the unrest will be held down to some level. If I can get this down to 0, the resources will be better, as will the income. But for right now, we're just going to have it like that. So, that's the plan. Master Blaster, Leeching Darkness, Eater of Filth, Master of Suffering. How appropriate. In any case, we're going to make it through, guys. This is going to be, it's going to be the feel-good, come-from-behind, comeback story of the year. So, I'll see you all in turn 4. Alright, folks, turn 4 of Accidental Ascension 3, we have taken Millgate. We took some casualties. Lost 5 of our spearmen, 9 of our national troops. That's okay. We're still doing alright. We've taken the province. Erythius has sent us 13 gold, saying, congrats on not killing the mercs this turn. That's a problem. So, what I'm doing here is I'm rehiring these mercenaries, which I have to do. So I'm paying 141. Doubled, that's 282, which hopefully is more than anybody else is offering to pay for 25 spearmen. I'm also bidding 225 on the Quick Spears, which are another spear mercenary group, very similar. It's risky splitting up my cash this way, because if I really wanted to be certain that I would keep Dante here, I would pour all my money into him. However, I'm sending this army into barbarians, about 40 barbarians, so I anticipate they're going to take very heavy casualties. They may even lose, but I'm hoping not. I'm hoping that with the javelin support from the Naphtali spearmen, they can eke it out and manage to take this province. But whether they do or not, I think they'll be mostly used up. So I'm willing to toss a little bit of money in their direction on the off chance of keeping them, but not a huge amount. I've actually canceled my mage recruitment for this turn. I'm spending all of my money pumping out troops. So 5 Gittite soldiers, a hornblower for the morale bonus, and then 1 Zebulonite soldier, since I can afford him. And actually, yeah, Zebulonite will be fine. To go with the 5 Gittite soldiers and 1 Gibor that I already have. And, I don't actually have a leader for this army, so I'm going to have to change something, because I need to recruit a Benjaminite commander who costs 40 gold. So I'm going to need to drop... Shit, that's still not enough. Oh, I want a hornblower. Oh, I want a hornblower so badly. Okay. Mercenaries. Dante's Stingers. We're changing our bid for you down to 121, so we're cutting 20 gold off the bid. That gives us 78, so we can go that. He costs 20, does he? Okay, so we can do that, and then with our 18 remaining, we can actually hire an Asherite soldier, or we could hire a Gadite swordsman. Nah, not Gadite swordsman. Let's hire an Asherite soldier. So he's a little bit slower, but he's tough. Okay, that'll be fine. So if we get the Quick Spears here, then the Quick Spears are 20 more spearmen. They will reinforce our 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 units. And that should be enough to go in against the Woods of Weeping, which is, unfortunately, it's mainly crossbowmen. But if we put the mercenaries out front to absorb the crossbow shots, we should be able to get the Gittites into combat. And if the Gittites can get into melee, they'll probably clean up, because they have decent... They're decent. They're not fantastic, but they're decent. So the goal here is definitely to take Validun, and then next turn, take the Woods of Weeping. Whatever's left of this army will move back to the capital, kind of rearm, and pick up more recruits. And then we'll also head up north to try and take these provinces and push on Raga, which we have to do immediately. I mean, I've said this before, we don't have an option. We're going to be fighting Raga very, very quickly. And I would love to be able to lock down his capital just for a turn, just to prevent him from recruiting a little bit, so that I can kind of match him. I think we can do it. If I wanted to be really... Yeah, I've got to use up those mercenaries really quick, so we're just sending them in there. Get some more resources, because we're actually running out of gold and resources at the same time here. But if we're not recruiting mercenaries, then we'll have a whole bunch more gold than resources, and so we'll be able to kind of go for that. Still working our way down Conjuration, aiming for Summon Mazikim. And we're sending out our Issacharite Sybil to site search real quick to see if we can get some nature income going, because if we have some nature income, then we can actually start summoning Mazikim, and having those little multi-attack flyers would be fantastic. They have 2 attacks each, and they're size 1, so 12 attacks per square. Even though they're kind of shitty attacks, that really, really does add up, and we can hopefully use them to do some damage. So, that is the turn. This might be a real short series, guys, but we are going to fight to the bitter end. We're going to see how well we do with our terrible, awful, no good, very bad god. And I'll see you in turn 5. Alright, it's turn 5 of Accidental Ascension 3. I lost against the Barbarians, which was somewhat predictable, but it was worth a shot. I could have gotten them if I'd killed the Chiefs. Unfortunately, only one of the Chiefs died before the rest came in, and so they managed to kill off all my expansion party without routing. The Gittites, sometimes Barbarians just rout. Their morale is not good, and especially if you kill the 2 Chiefs, then you're good. But didn't work out this time. They tend to be in front too, so sad. In any case, my prophet got away. So Anti-Entity is over here. I have a small army of 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Gittite soldiers, 1 Gibor, 1 Zebulonite Hornblower, and 1 Asherite soldier. Morale is excellent. Will be slightly lower if I move out, but over here we've got 20 Turin heavy infantry and Turin infantry. Now, if we look at those units, I'm kind of making a call here, and I think once again I might have to gamble. Turin infantry are not very good compared to my units, especially not compared to my giants. Turin heavy infantry are slightly better because they have Prot 16, but the important thing here is that I think Gittites can trade well with them, because Gittites have longer weapons, so they can repel and cannot be repelled. They do more damage, and their javelins hit harder, hit hard enough to go through Prot. Now, the Abyssians do very comparable damage with their swords to Gittites, and so they can also go through Gittite Prot, but Gittites have twice the hit points. I also have 1 Gibor, and that Gibor, of course, hits like a truck. Like, he's likely to kill a Turin heavy infantry with 1 blow. So I'm outnumbered is the thing, and being outnumbered 2 to 1 makes for a lot of problems. So Anti-Entity is going to patrol this province for this turn. And we're throwing literally all of our cash after recruiting some more units into mercenaries, the shipwreckers. I'm bidding a ludicrous sum of money for the shipwreckers, and let me say, this is by far the most competitive I've ever seen people be for mercenaries. It's ridiculous. These guys cost 150 gold. I'm bidding 583, almost 4 times what they cost. I'm canceling mage recruitment to overpay for mercenaries, because I must have them. I must have them this turn. If I get them this turn, then I can take them, roll up here, and hopefully possibly even place Raga under siege. Although probably not, because 25 province defense might be unbeatable for me at the moment. But, if I can take that province and push Raga back, that will earn me a little bit of breathing room, which currently I don't have. I mean, it's turn 5, I have 3 provinces. I'm already knocked out of this game. In terms of, like, competition for who's going to win, I can almost certainly guarantee I'm not even going to be close. I'm not even going to approach it. Raga has 5 provinces, so they have a pretty distinct, they may have a distinct resource edge, although be it, both these provinces are good ones, so I might be able to, oh shit, I don't have any province defense there. The last thing I need is to lose this province to a random event. Yeah, just put some PD in there. Jesus Christ. Alright, so yeah, I'm not recruiting any mages. I'm recruiting 4 Gittite soldiers and a Zebulonite hornblower. And I would give up the hornblower if I could get another Gittite for it, but I can't. 24 gold. What can I get for 12 gold? I can get Gathite swordsman for 12 gold, but having Gathite swordsman opens up random bad events. Like, Gathite swordsmen can burn down your temples or let your blood slaves free, so you can't have them sitting around at home. So they're a huge pain in the ass, basically. Yeah, hornblower for the morale boost. And 4 Gittites. And we'll see. We will see. It's just a question of whether I can spam out troops fast enough to hold back Raga. Because Raga is coming for me, and I'm coming for them. And that's like all I have. Like, this is a knife fight to the death, and there's no other option. So, we'll see how it goes. If I get those War Shamblers, because War Shamblers are actually pretty good units. They hit quite hard. They have high strength, they have high hit points, they're giants, and they have, like, halberds, poleaxes, something like that, glaives. So, it's kind of a bad weapon, but against low armor, high prot units, it can hit hard. And if I can use them to roll into Raga and shut down Raga's recruitment, if I can do that, then I have hope. Because once I'm sitting on Raga's capital, shutting down their recruitment, then I have a shot. Then I have a shot at getting some breathing room, at taking some provinces, at growing a little bit. And that's what I need to do. Like, I don't, as I've said repeatedly now, I don't have another option. This is the most desperate early game knife fight I've ever seen or heard of. It's incredible. But in any case, that's turn 5. I'll see you all in turn 6, and we'll see how things go. If I got those War Shamblers, then I'll be in it with a shot. If I didn't, I'll be screwed. Like, completely, utterly screwed. May as well go AI kind of screwed. But I won't. I won't go AI. I'll stick in it. Hopefully get my god out, see if I can accomplish anything at that point. But in any case, thanks for watching. See you in turn 6. Okay, turn 6 of my personal hell. I didn't get the mercenaries. Marignan got the mercenaries. That means Marignan paid something on the order of 600 gold for these mercenaries. Admittedly, they're good mercenaries, but still. This is, as I said last term, this is the most hyper-competitive mercenary environment I've ever seen or heard of. It's ridiculous. And I can understand why. Like, looking at what's happening in this game, I can understand why. I got absolutely the worst start imaginable, but there are other players in this game who got very, very shitty starts. So I can't necessarily blame them. I would love this province so much, and there's no hope of my getting it. So, Raga has actually pulled troops back, possibly anticipating that I would attack. I really makes me wish I had attacked last turn, but we're sending in Anti-Entity with a bunch of Gittite soldiers, Zebulonite hornblowers, and one Asherite soldier, plus 1 Gibor. This army should suffice to beat back what he could have recruited at this point. And it should also suffice, more importantly, to give me a bunch of resources, hopefully, that I can then use to recruit more troops, because once again, the resources are just an absolute murderous bottleneck for me. Like, it's terrible. It's really, really terrible. I'm starting to pump out mages again, because I don't have another good option. I think, actually, I'm going to be pumping out 1 Issacharite Sage and 1 Cohen, because I need more Blood Hunters, if I'm going to accomplish anything in getting out of... Nope, never mind. I'm going for Conjuration first. Let's get an Abba, I guess. An Abba. I just don't have any nature income. And I have no, screw it. Oh, God, it's so bad. It's so bad. Yeah, we're going to get a couple more Kohens so that at least we can blood hunt if we need to. So if we need to, we can go down to this province, which has very few resources, and blood hunt the hell out of it. And do some damage that way, because, of course, you can summon imps in battle with blood 1. So that's something that Kohens can do in combat. It's actually pretty useful. And if we go down to level Fire Imps will not help us against Raga. They're using mainly Turin units. But if we could go down to, like, if we could get several of them together in a communion, we could go down here and cast Agony, which is a pretty useful spell. It does fear and it does armor negating damage in a wide AoE. That can be very useful in early combats. Binding Bone Fiends and Spine Devils, both A, are not very good spells, but B, require more blood than I actually have. So I'd have to empower somebody. That would take a little bit longer. Yeah, it's a real shit show. It's a problem. It's a problem up in here. I've been in contact with other players talking about that. I was in contact with a player of Pangea, who's over here somewhere. If they wanted to fight Raga, they haven't really committed there. Everybody has their own struggles. And so we're just kind of working it out. Now these barbarians down here, I'm thinking the Gittites might not be the best to stop them. There's only about 20 of them left, so possibly just spamming out a whole bunch of Naphtali spearmen. Because I'm actually at the point now where I could recruit a significant number of Naphtali spearmen. They're basically just indie light infantry, but I can have a lot. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I can have 13 of those guys. I could give them a morale boost with a hornblower that I already have. So 2 turns of recruiting them might get these barbarians. Of course, 2 turns of recruiting Gittites might also get the barbarians. So it's kind of like 6 of one, half a dozen of another. Because I can have 6 Gittites, so it's 2-to-1 ratio of Naphtali spearmen to Gittite soldiers. I'm just going to stick with the Gittites, I guess. They're going to be better in most combats than pretty much any of my other options. A few Rubinite archers against barbarians would actually be really clutch. Because short bows are actually effective against barbarians when they're not effective against most late-age enemies. Fuck it. I'll just stick with the Gittites. The Gittites will do the job, or not, as the case may be. We'll see how it goes. Still gonna site search here for nature, going up there to take the Woods of Weeping. If I take the Woods of Weeping, I'm sending Yamin along with, and I'm immediately going to start building a fort. Got to have a fort here, and then just pump troops up into the Woods of Weeping to hold it. Pump up the province defense to some stupid level. In this situation, pumping up the province defense is actually a valid strategy, because pumping up the province defense might prevent him from taking it back, since we're in the very, very, very early game where he doesn't have mages. And I don't know I forget what kind of indies these were, but if they have any kind of decent province defense, just throwing more bodies onto the field could be the difference. So I'll pump the province defense up here to like 16 or 20, probably. Whatever I can afford, as well as build a palisade. And I'll take... No, don't do that. There we go. Issachrite sages don't have leadership, but Kohens do. So I'll take a Kohen to lead these troops back up there if I need them. I don't know. It's a mess. Well, we're going to see how well we can fight our way out of this, but it's going to be a problem no matter what way you slice it. Ooh, baby, it's going to be an issue. So, we'll see. We'll see what we can do. In any case, that's turn 6. We'll see what happens in turn 7. Probably, I threw a whole bunch of money at those mercenaries, 421. I don't know if I have a better use for 400 gold right now. I'm positive on gold. Actually, I do. I do have a better use for 400 gold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my bid down. They require 200, and like I said, this is a very competitive environment. I'm going to cut my bid down to 301. So it's very unlikely that I'll get them. But that should give me enough money to start the fort up. No, actually, I'm just gonna cut it out. I'm not even gonna try. I'm not even gonna try to get them. We're gonna let other people take whatever mercenaries they think they can. I'll see if I can hire the quick spears away next turn or something. I don't know. I just don't know. I just don't know anymore, guys. Well, I know nothing. Please don't take this game as representative of Gath. By God, please do not. Gath is a very strong nation, or quite a strong nation. It's just that my luck was so unbelievably shit when it came to starting. And last time I started here. This is a fantastic starting position. It's amazing. And then I got to start here, which is literally the worst starting position I think I've ever heard of. Because you can't go anywhere. I mean, except for the occasional person who, on totally random maps with no checking, ends up completely blocked off because they have like 2 province connections and one of them is a throne and one of them has 100 barbarians on it. That would be worse than this. Although the Sloth 3, Jesus. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you all in turn 7. We'll see if our doughty giants can get out of this mess they're in, alright? Alright, folks, it's turn 7. We're up to 4 provinces. Things are looking up. That's a lie. Things aren't looking very far up, but we have managed to take the Woods of Weeping without having to actually fight the Rogan army, which is very, very nice. So we went into the Woods of Weeping. We have our line of Gittite soldiers, the 1 Gibor and the 1 Asherite in the middle, and then 1 Hornblower. You can see our morale is still pretty good because of our squad morale bonus, despite being in hostile domain. We've got Yamin in the back, and our troops just roll over this. This is light infantry, couple of heavy infantry, and then in the back, this is the interesting bit, crossbowmen. The low prot, low resource cost kind of crossbowman. That's fantastic. So we charge him, we wipe him out. No trouble. In the high peaks, we got Misfortune 3, but ha! I already had Misfortune 3, sucker. Zoriel is still searching for sites, but so now in this province, we've started to build a giant palisade with Yamin. It's going to take 4 turns to finish. But, as I said, this province has the good kind of crossbowmen. Now, it has garbage recruitment points, so it will never be able to recruit many, but, because they're 9 recruitment points each, but if we get the gold, we can pump out some of them. So I'm going to actually cancel one of my sages this turn and just start churning out crossbowmen. Low resource crossbowmen are a godsend to me because I can actually recruit them. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna build the palisade here. That's actually going to take resources back away from Gath again. Gath has gotten a little bit of a resource influx from that. So we're up to recruiting actually an almost respectable number of Gittite soldiers. But it's a sacrifice that I'm willing to make. And then these provinces can feed to this fort once it's up. And like I said, we can start churning out those crossbowmen. I've put a lot of province defense here. This amount of province defense still will not hold off a serious attack because of the light infantry are just no good. But it does give me these crossbows in the back. I'll pump some more province defense into it in a turn or two. I do need to start getting some actual research, which is why I'm recruiting some mages. Gedalia has a bunch of blood slaves that I'm getting from my slave market, which is a fantastic site for Gath to be having. And she's going to cast, or he is going to be casting Bleed to support these 5 units, which are going to be backing him up. And they're on guard commander because it's possible that Raga has recruited some Ziyedins. If they had a turn during the summer where they had heat in their capital, which they might have in the middle of the summer, they might have been able to churn out a few Ziyedins, in which case they could be set to attack rear. And then Gedalia could potentially be in a little bit of trouble. So we'll actually put Gedalia slightly forward, also so that the bleed can hit. And then with this province defense we've got here, Gedalia might be able to hold the province. We're sending out Anti-Entity. We're leaving the Gibor and the Asherite soldier behind. Anti-Entity is taking all of these 14 units to go attack Black Alps in a bid to liberate a few more resources. And if he takes Black Alps, or she, Anti-Entity is a she. I mean, Auntie after all. After they take Black Alps, we can take this turn's recruitment with Shimshon and head down here to clear out these barbarians and win a little bit more territory. If we can just keep expanding even a little, we may be able to do something here. And we have late fall, early winter, and then winter. Winter is the time when we might be able to cross the river. And if we can cross the river and get into Setica, that would be amazing. Setica or Bountiful Land, but probably Setica. Setica would be much, much easier because they have less heavy cavalry. So if we can get because it's fall, late fall, this turn's recruitment, late fall, early winter. If we can get a couple turns recruitment of Gittites, that would be very radical. Now, I don't really have the gold to build any commanders, but I will next turn. So next turn I'll recruit a commander and also hopefully start recruiting scouts so that I can actually see what's going on. Because right now I just can't. I mean, I have my 1 scout here, and I need to move him up, actually. Let's put him into Raga itself, just to see if we can see what troops Raga might have. I'm a little bit lucky here in that Demise is kind of a pessimistic player, like a lot of the time. So, especially if he sees me starting to come out with this army of giants, he might actually fall into despair and not be playing at his best, which would be amazing. It might be my only chance. But, and then like I said, if I can get an army across the river, take Setica for the income, and kind of push on and establish a little bit of territory down here, that would be also incredible. I don't know who my neighbor down here is. I don't see them. It might be... I mean, it might be Agartha. Like, that might be Agartha right there. Or that might be Agartha, or one of these might be Agartha. Those are the only options, because Agartha starts in caves. So... yeah. That might be late age Agartha. No, that's Underhome. Never mind, that isn't Agartha. Okay, so Agartha is over here. So, I don't know who's down... Yes, I do. It's Jomon. Thank fuck. Thank God. My neighbor down here is Jomon and is at a reasonable distance, because Jomon, oh boy, Jomon is not a good competitor. So I might be able to run Jomon over if I can actually get troops across the river and establish a fort. I might be in with a chance. We'll see. Probably by that time Jomon will have taken this province. I imagine they haven't taken it yet because heavy cavalry are really scary to the Jomonese army. So, I don't know. We're just gonna have to play it by ear. If Jomon takes that, then hopefully I can get across and take this and have something. Just something down over here to fuel my anemic war machine in the cripple fight against Raga. That's what I'm gonna subtitle this series. Cripple fight. Most definitely. Alright. Yeah, pardon that. My winter cough has really, really hit me the last week or so. So, that's the turn. We hit Conjuration level 2, which means we can now, if we want, summon ogres. And actually, I am tempted. Yeah, I'm gonna do that, actually. Let me alchemize a little bit. Alchemize up some more earth gems from my astral pearls. Don't need astral pearls if you're dead. And we are going to summon some ogres. So we'll have a few more troops to back up our giants that we can send in to help clear out the barbs. And we might be able to put some actual early game pressure on Raga here. And then once we hit Conjuration level 3, we can also summon lesser earth elementals, which won't be super useful, but will be some useful. Lesser fire elementals will not be useful against Turans, because Turans are, of course, fire resistant. Yeah, fire resistant 10. So, fire doesn't really work on them. Or on Zeedans. Zeedans are even more fire resistant for some reason, and so are Savarans and Turan horse archers and all this stuff. The only ones that aren't fire resistant are the area units, who aren't very good, and who are cold resistant instead. Yeah, and I'm not scared of these guys, honestly. The lances, I mean, they do have cold protection, so in cold 1, ice protection, so their protection will be slightly higher in cold, but it won't make a difference. Their protection is still so low that they'd just be slapped. They'd just be slapped down by the giants. But yeah, if we could just take... Oh, if we could take Raga. If we could take Raga, that would be amazing. Alright, in any case, that's turn 7. I'm going to contact Jomon, see if we can make a deal. I've already, of course, made a deal with Abyssia up here. And see, like, this is the distance that's, like, normal. 3 provinces, that's even slightly closer than I've seen a lot of the time, but if Raga was here instead of here, that would still be painfully close, but it would give me room to breathe. Like, if Raga had been out here, then I wouldn't have had them in my cap circle right from the word go. I might have been a little bit more relaxed. I might have been able to... I don't know. If Raga had been out here, or out here, or out here, then there would have been no problem. If Raga had been up there, then I would have just been like, yeah, okay, neighbors, that's fine. If we can fight our way out, though, because we took the Woods of Weeping, that was what I was really worried about. We're going to get the fort established. If we can take this province, that province, if we can kind of clear out our ring, as it were, and push back a little bit, then we'll be in much, much better shape. So, in any case, I'll see y'all in turn 8.